Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Common English Decoded. We're so happy you're here with us today. If you're trying to sound more natural, more confident, and more polite in English, then you've picked the perfect episode.
Hey everyone, great to have you with us. Today's topic is something that surprises a lot of English learners. Sometimes your grammar is completely correct, your pronunciation is clear, and your vocabulary is good, but people still think you're being rude.
That's such an important point. I remember when I was learning another language, I used a sentence that was technically correct, but everyone looked at me strangely. Later, I learned that the words weren't wrong, the tone was.
Exactly, and that's what we're talking about today. We're going to explore 10 common English phrases that many learners use without realizing they can sound rude, demanding, or unfriendly in certain situations.
The good news is that these mistakes are easy to fix. By the end of this episode, you'll know what to say instead, why native speakers prefer certain expressions, and how to sound more polite in everyday conversations.
We'll also share real-life examples, common mistakes, practice activities, and simple tips you can start using immediately.
As you're listening, think about which of these phrases you've used before. Be honest, we've all made these mistakes.
And we'd love to hear from you. Which English phrase do you think sounds polite, but later discovered sounded rude? Let us know in the comments.
Don't forget to like this episode, share it with another English learner, and subscribe to Common English Decoded so you never miss a new lesson.
All right, let's get started and discover how small changes can make your English sound much friendlier and more natural.
Before we look at specific phrases, let's understand a basic idea. In English, being polite often means making your language softer. Native speakers frequently avoid language that sounds like an order, even when they don't mean to be rude.
That's right. A sentence can be grammatically perfect, but socially uncomfortable. Today, we'll start with some of the most common examples.
Let's begin with the phrase, give me.
Imagine you're in a coffee shop and you say, "Give me a coffee."
Grammatically, that's correct.
But it sounds like you're giving an order.
A better option is, could I have a coffee, please? Or, could I get a coffee, please?
Here's another example. "Give me that pen."
Instead, try, could you pass me that pen, please?
Notice the pattern. We're not changing the meaning, we're changing the feeling.
Exactly. English speakers often care about how something sounds emotionally.
Now let's look at another phrase, "I want."
Many learners say things like, I want water.
Again, not incorrect, but in many situations it sounds demanding.
Instead, say, I'd like some water.
Or, "Could I have some water?"
Here's a simple formula.
Direct request, "I want."
Polite request, I'd like.
Let's give a few more examples.
I want a ticket.
"I'd like a ticket, please."
I want a table.
"Could we have a table for two, please?"
Much friendlier.
Another phrase learners often use is simply, "What?"
Ah, yes. Someone says something and you don't hear them.
Many learners respond with, "What?"
In some situations, that's okay. But depending on your tone, it can sound abrupt.
A softer response is, "Sorry?" or "Could you repeat that?"
Or even, sorry, I didn't catch that.
Here's a quick practice for listeners.
Imagine you're at work and your colleague says something quietly.
Which sounds better?
What?
Or, "Sorry, could you repeat that?"
Definitely the second one.
Let's add one more phrase to this section. I know.
This one surprises people.
Someone tells you information.
You reply, I know.
Sometimes that's fine.
But it can also sound dismissive.
Instead, try, right, that's true.
Or, yes, I've heard that.
Those responses acknowledge the other person without sounding impatient.
Can you think of a time when someone told you something you already knew?
How would you respond politely? Write your answer in the comments.
Remember, politeness isn't just about grammar. It's about helping people feel comfortable.
And that's the key lesson from this section. Small wording changes can make a huge difference in how friendly your English sounds.
Now let's build on that idea and talk about phrases that can sound rude when giving advice or disagreeing with someone.
These situations can be tricky because most people don't want to sound aggressive.
Let's start with, you should.
Imagine someone tells you they're tired.
You immediately say, you should sleep more.
The advice might be good.
But it can sound a little forceful.
Instead, try, maybe you could get a bit more rest.
Or, have you considered going to bed earlier?
Those versions sound more like suggestions than commands.
Here's another example.
You should lose weight.
Wow, that's a sentence that can sound very rude.
Even if your intention is helpful.
Native speakers often avoid giving personal advice unless someone asks for it.
That's an important cultural point.
Now let's look at disagreement.
Many learners say, you're wrong,
Direct and clear.
but also very strong.
A softer alternative is, I'm not sure I agree.
Or, I see it differently.
Let's do a quick role play.
I think online learning is better than classroom learning.
You're wrong.
Ouch.
Now let's try again.
I think online learning is better than classroom learning.
I can see why you think that, but I prefer classroom learning.
Much more natural.
First tip, acknowledge the other person's opinion.
Second tip, explain your view calmly.
Third tip, avoid language that sounds like an attack.
Another phrase that can cause problems is, you don't understand.
People often say this during disagreements.
But it sounds accusatory.
Instead, try, maybe I didn't explain it clearly.
Or, let me explain another way.
Notice how the focus shifts from blaming the listener to improving communication.
That's a very useful habit in English conversations.
Here's a quick activity for everyone listening.
Rewrite this sentence.
You're wrong, you don't understand.
Can you make it more polite?
Pause and think.
You might say, I see it differently. Let me explain my perspective.
That's much smoother.
We'd love to see your version in the comments as well.
The goal isn't to hide your opinion.
The goal is to express it respectfully.
That's what helps conversations stay friendly.
And that's the key takeaway from this section.
Now let's look at some phrases that can instantly create tension in conversations.
The first one is calm down.
This is funny because people usually say it to help.
Yet it often has the opposite effect.
Imagine you're upset and someone says, calm down.
Most people become even more frustrated.
Instead, try, I understand you're upset.
Or, let's figure this out together.
Those responses show empathy.
Next is the phrase, that's not my problem.
Technically honest.
Socially risky.
Imagine a customer asking for help.
That's not my problem sounds dismissive.
A better response is, I'm not the right person to help, but let me find someone who can.
Same message, completely different feeling.
Another famous rude phrase is whatever.
Ah, yes, the conversation killer.
Someone is sharing an opinion.
You respond, whatever.
It suggests you don't care.
Instead, try, that's okay.
Or, we can agree to disagree.
Tone matters a lot here.
Let's compare.
Whatever.
Sounds annoyed.
We can agree to disagree.
Sounds mature.
Another practical situation is workplace communication.
Suppose a coworker makes a mistake.
Saying, "That's your problem," creates conflict.
Saying, "Let's see how we can fix it," encourages teamwork.
That's a great example of how polite English isn't only about words.
It's also about relationships.
Here's a mini practice.
Replace these rude phrases with polite ones.
Calm down.
I understand you're frustrated.
Whatever.
Let's move forward.
That's not my problem.
Let me see who can help.
Try saying those alternatives out loud.
The more you practice them, the more natural they'll become.
And remember, polite English often helps people listen to you more carefully.
Let's talk about some mistakes we've seen learners make over and over again.
And honestly, most of us have made these mistakes too.
Mistake number 1. Using commands when making requests.
Incorrect. Give me a menu.
Better. Could I see the menu, please?
The problem is that commands sound bossy when you don't have authority.
Mistake number 2. Confusing honesty with politeness.
Incorrect. You're wrong.
Better. I see it differently.
You can still disagree without sounding aggressive.
Mistake number 3. Responding with frustration.
Incorrect. What?
Better. Sorry, could you repeat that?
Native speakers often soften requests for repetition.
Mistake number 4. Ending conversations with whatever.
That's one of the quickest ways to sound annoyed.
Instead, say, "That's okay," or "Let's move on."
Here's a funny example.
Imagine your friend says, "I think pineapple belongs on pizza."
You reply, "Whatever."
Suddenly, the conversation feels tense.
But if you say, "Interesting, I disagree, but that's okay," everything stays friendly.
Remember that English-speaking cultures often value indirect communication in social situations.
Not always, but quite often.
That's why phrases like "could you" and "would you mind" are so common.
If you're making these mistakes, don't worry.
Every English learner goes through this stage.
The important thing is awareness.
Once you notice these patterns, your English can improve very quickly.
Practice replacing direct phrases with softer alternatives, and you'll sound much more natural.
It's time for a quick challenge. Choose the sentence that sounds more natural and polite.
Situation 1. You're ordering food.
A. Give me a burger.
B. Could I have a burger, please?
The answer is B.
Situation 2. You didn't hear someone.
A. What?
B. Sorry, could you repeat that?
Again, B is usually the better choice.
Situation 3. You disagree with a friend.
A. You're wrong.
B. I see it differently.
Definitely B.
Situation 4. Someone is upset.
A. Calm down.
B. I understand you're frustrated.
B sounds much more supportive.
Situation 5. A discussion is going nowhere.
A. Whatever.
B. We can agree to disagree.
B wins again.
Notice a pattern?
Polite English usually sounds softer, more cooperative, and more respectful.
Try creating your own examples and post them in the comments.
And don't just read them, say them out loud.
Real improvement happens when you practice speaking, not just listening.
Perfect English isn't the goal.
Effective and friendly communication is.
What a great lesson! Today we've explored 10 common English phrases that can sound rude without people realizing it.
We learned 3 major ideas. First, direct requests can sound like commands. Second, disagreement should often be softened. Third, empathy and polite wording make conversations smoother.
Remember, sounding natural in English isn't only about grammar and vocabulary. It's also about choosing language that makes people feel comfortable.
Small changes like saying, "I'd like" instead of "I want," or "I see it differently" instead of "you're wrong," can completely change how people respond to you.
We hope today's episode helps you communicate more confidently and politely.
Before we finish, here's a question for you. Which of today's 10 phrases have you used before? And which polite alternative are you going to start using now?
Share your answer in the comments. We'd love to read it.
And if you found this lesson helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to Common English Decoded.
Thanks for spending time with us today and continuing your English learning journey.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember that every conversation is a chance to improve. See you next time.